state highway, one lane each direction with sidewalks, and pavement condition was a little bit distressed. So, we got some feedback through the delegation and the community about whether or not there was ways that we could look at and see if we could make some improvements. And we were able to fit it into a district-wide contract that we had some available funding to do towards the end of the fiscal year. And it's a simple scope of work, just again, reliability and maintenance.
So it'll be done by when, like tomorrow?
Yes. Absolutely, it is.
I noticed. It
would have been done last night, but we got rained down on the pavement marking. So simple scope, about 3,500 feet, linear feet, about $350,000. There was a mill and overlay, drainage structure adjustments, some improvements to the berm and the curb in selected areas, and then obviously the new pavement markings, recessed thermoplastic pavement markings, which is a newer type of product we're using to try and increase the longevity.
Yep.
A lot of our pavement markings, the raised ones, the snowplow actions, as you're well aware, they wear them down a little bit. So these recessed ones do a little bit less damage to the plowing, and we hope we get greater longevity. But that's kind of like a prelude to what we also wanted to give you a quick tour about. One, I can roll out these plans.
Are there any local officials here?
Yep.
There's somebody. Who wrote the letter?
The chairman of the Board of Selectmen.
Right, so somebody wrote the letter, right?
Yes.
Is he here?
Yes. Well, we wrote the letter as our board, and we sent it to our thing, so as a board, we wrote it together. So we submitted.
I thought it was from the town manager.
It wasn't. That's Richard Montori. Yes, he's right there.
Well, why doesn't he come over and say hello?
Because he likes to hide in the background.
How are you? It's nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Thanks for your note. That was helpful.
Great.
It's always good to hear from folks in the local level about what's going on and what's important. It makes it easy for us to act accordingly.
Appreciate the response.
Okay. Won't happen every time like that.
I'll send a letter.
But you teed it up pretty well for us. So did you.
So anyway, it's just kind of a prelude to some other work that we're collaborating with the community on for a future phase of improvements that'll really address some much needed traffic signal and geometric improvements, along with trying to take the Complete Streets initiative that your administration and Secretary Pollock are so in tune with, to try and get bike accommodation, sidewalk improvements, but it'll really transform this area by basically this triangle, which is made up of Main Street, which is Route 38, South Street, which goes up to Salem Street, and back across, so triangle, if you will. All new traffic signal equipment here, new signals down at the intersection of Salem and South, and then just all new pavement widening to get that complete street.
Piece up there?
Yep, Zach, this is kind of just a general kind of overview, Governor, of it. So we're standing right here in this little pocket park, this intersection, Salem, South Street, goes up that way, and then Salem Road comes back down. So basically the limits are what you see here. And as I said, full depth roadway reconstruction, widening, new sidewalks, new pavement, and then striping, if you will. I can go back real quick, just give you a sense for some of the pavement markings that will take place. This is leading up to the intersection, so we have your bike accommodations, marked bike lanes within the thing, sharrows in areas where there's not enough room for a formal bike lane, and then bicycle detection symbols there where we can get the bicycles in the right spot so they get detected by the traffic signals and get to the destination they need to go to. So that's a project, it's about $2.5 million project. We're at about the 25% design phase. It's programmed on the region's transportation improvement program for federal year 2019.
Okay.
So that's why, kind of said is why do we stop our paving back there 500 feet? The limit of that project will go down and touch into that.
Okay.
Tie right into it. So that's kind of what we wanted to bring you out here and just kind of give you a flavor for some of the stuff we're able to do on a maintenance side, and also an eye to the future on some much needed improvements which will revitalize this particular area of Tewksbury.
How much stuff are you going to do up in this area generally over the course of the next couple of years?
So we do quite a bit of work in this District 4, which is pretty much encompasses 61 towns in the North Shore area.
Yep.
In the last fiscal year, it was $250 million, so pretty big investment. And in the last 3 years...
Is that with Chapter 90 or without Chapter 90?
That, I believe, is without Chapter 90.
Yeah, I think that's just our capital program, MassDOT
Yeah.
run construction projects. So that doesn't include small bridge program, complete streets, as well as
And over the
Chapter
last
90 must be a pretty decent sized number of people who are putting the money out.
Absolutely.
How many communities did you say?
61,
62.
62,
62.
Keep dropping that. 670 million over the last 3 years. So pretty big investment in this area.
So 670 million. How much of that is on what I would describe as smaller projects? How much of it is on bigger ones?
Well, in this area, I know we've got a lot of, again, they're more reliability projects, so we've got a lot of work that we've been doing on the I-495
Yep.
area as far as just simple maintenance resurfacing, and they chew into a lot of bit of money. As far as some of the projects might go.
I'm a big believer in resurfacing, by the way. As somebody who probably puts as many miles on Massachusetts roads as anybody,
Yep.
I'm more than well aware of the fact that resurfacing is a good thing.
Yeah, so we actually am glad to hear that because that's one of the other projects we've been working with the town in Tewksbury. Actually, Route 38 is all state highway through Tewksbury,
know, yeah.
and it's a long segment of highway. It's about 6 miles that goes through the town. So a couple of years ago, we did a segment, about a mile and a half segment on the northern end towards the Lowell. We've got this piece that we just finished up down on the southern end. There's a section that's being designed for about a mile and a half section in the central portion that's coming out in 2020. That's also funded on the capital investment program on the tip, and that'll be rolled out with new sidewalks, ADA compliant, accessible ramps, and resurfacing and the like. And then this project. I mentioned 495. That's an active project right now, going through Andover, North Andover, and the Lawrence area.
Yep.
And we've just basically been working our way up, all the way down from the Chelmsford area,
Yeah.
and working our way up. As far as some of the other projects,